I enjoy living alone, but I do get very lonely. And that's the thing where, like, when I'm by myself and it's at night and, like, fucking Seaver's in his crate and I'm just sitting there.
Seaver's on the bed, you're in the crate.
I'll do anything for that dog.
You're listening to the Dear Buddies podcast.
You will grow from boys into men. Whatever, dude.
What does that look? Don't get weird on me.
Hey, buddy.
For all those questions you can't bring yourself to ask your friends, ask your buddies.
Welcome to the Dear Buddies podcast. How's everyone doing out there in the buddy world? We got a great show for you today. To my left, we have Alex Pavone. To my right, we have the big man, Mike Albanese, fresh off his cottage adventure. How's the buds doing? I haven't seen you guys in about 7 years. And tell you something, best 7 years of my life. So,
it's been
how's it going?
It's been a couple months. I've missed you. Clearly, you don't miss us. You don't know your rights and lefts still.
No, I'm still
so that's good.
Left. You're my left, and you're my right.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
But I wish you left. Anyway.
That wasn't bad. I liked it. That was good.
We're good. How are you? How's life?
Oh, it's spectacular. Mets are in the midst of a trade deadline, so caught up on that one. But we're not here to talk about the Mets today. We're here to talk about depression.
We're talking about all kinds of things when it comes to men being able to speak, I think. And I'm speaking up as an example to tell you that you're wrong. We're actually talking about men being able to speak up about their emotions, their depression, their anxiety, all of those things. And it's inspired by
Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy Pimblett had a really big speech that's kind of been going crazy the last week or so.
Paddy Pimblett, UFC fighter, is knocking out people left and right. He's going to be champion soon. If you could understand what he says, it's a great thing because he has a harsh British accent.
Yeah, it's like Liverpool.
Yeah, he looks like he just came off the set of Green Street Hooligans, just absolutely beating the shit out of people.
He sounds like he's trying to audition to be the new Beatle. The way he sounds like a if Ringo Starr took a couple of shots to the mouth.
Yeah, took a fucking roundhouse to the gland or something. Yeah, he's a bit off. He sounds like he works at like a.
But he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy UFC fighter, and he wins a fight. They put the mic in his mouth, and he just starts talking about men being able to be more vulnerable and emotional because his friend killed himself. So
can I say one thing? I thought he was Scottish until he said my buddy. I really thought he was Scottish.
He does sound Scottish.
He sounds Scottish.
As someone who watches sports only, exclusively, it's weird that this wasn't a bigger story than it was. Yeah. I never heard about it. I mean, you guys told me about it. So it's weird that of all the things that in the sports world they pushed, this one really didn't push. They didn't push it as hard. It's weird.
And it's interesting because this is kind of the exact thing that this podcast is trying to do, is to be the thing and address the thing that he talks about that everyone's talking about. So it's kind of cool to see like, hey, come, this is what we're trying to do. So let's talk about it. And so it's the perfect jumping off point as a topic. So here, let's listen to what he had to say.
I woke up on Friday morning at 4 a.m. to a message that one of my friends back home had killed himself. This is 5 hours before me weigh-in. So Ricky, lad, that's for you. But there's a stigma in this world that men can't talk. Listen, if you're a man and you've got weight on your shoulders and you think the only way you can solve it is by killing yourself, please speak to someone. Speak to anyone. People would rather, I'd rather me mate cry on my shoulder than go to his funeral next week. So please, let's get rid of this stigma and men start talking.
He made a really interesting statement at the end there, which is, I'd rather my friend cry on my shoulder than me go to his funeral. Like, if that's the options, first of all, why are those the only two options? You either cry with me or you kill yourself.
Because do you get to bouts of depression? Do you go how bad do your depression?
I feel like you're asking me in a way that like you're trying to out-depress me.
Yeah, fucking out-depress anyone in this room.
Buddy, he's in gambling, he's minus 1,000 for most depressed man in the room by far.
Are you kidding me?
First of all, it's not a competition.
Listen, first of all, if I'm going to win something, I want to win the depression all today. Okay?
You want to win it being the worst.
Yeah, I want to win it being the worst. Let's go. Let's make it fun here and make it. You know what? I can't walk out of this room and go, I'm not even most depressed.
I would say, Scopo, not that you're the winner here, but you are for sure the most depressed. I don't really get depressed too much. I mean, I get depressed, but I wouldn't say I have depression.
That's when the team goes over.
Yeah.
No, I get pretty good bouts of depression, anxiety, self-loathing. It's all of them, and I'm medicated as a result. So I would say that I was on a collision course with a heart attack because of my anxiety and depression, among other things. Like,
don't make me say it.
Incapable of saying no to French fries.
I was gonna say potatoes.
Shout out! I got high cholesterol.
Oh, no way!
All right, shout out! Here we go.
What are you doing to fix it?
Fucking, raw dog in life.
Raw dog in life.
I did tell my mom, because like if I just like didn't tell anybody, I'd still be eating like shit. Like I was like, you can't just lower your fried food intake. And I told my mom, she goes, all right, it's no more fried food. So like, she's like, that's it, you're done with fried food. I had to tell somebody, because I just would have ate myself to death and be like, nah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, that's like the guy thing to do, is just be like, forget it, I'll be fine. But that's when I finally decided to start talking about it, and I went to a therapist, and I was able to figure out that like depression usually is a chemical imbalance, and you can fix that with certain medications. Started taking medication, and I've never felt better.
That's good.
Being medicated is so, and like I've talked to my dad about it, and he's like, medicate. I think the older generation, the generation before us, medicating is a sign of weakness. Medication, admitting that there's something wrong, is a sign of loss. You lose. You're not good enough for.
Sounds like medication. Just walk around Costco.
Yeah.
That's how you get medicated,
buddy. Honestly, I think I'm done with like listening to old people's advice about stuff in terms of like what they think is stupid because it's new. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like old men won't drink iced coffee because it's like that's not the way it is. Coffee's hot, and then it's a heat wave, and they're fucking dying. They're dying. They're sweating their balls
drinking
off.
Boiling water.
Yeah, because they can't get through in their brain that things change.
But also, there's something about coffee that's like, it's hot, it's bitter. Ugh. Like to have something refreshing is admitting defeat.
I guess
it's like being able to say like, why drink, like drinking water. It's like, I'm dehydrated. You're dehydrated.
I don't know what old men you hang out with, but I've never met an old man going ice gay. Like I've never.
Well, look around and see how many older men drink iced coffees. It does not happen. They're like set on their ways. I'm telling you, there's a generational gap that between the older generation and us that you can't even take them personally when they talk. Like there's just some things that it doesn't cross over. So like the fact that you're going to talk to an older guy like our dad's age and they don't get it, I don't think you could take offense to it personally. I think it's just annoying, but I think you just.
But that's like a hurdle that I had to get over, was because my dad, great guy, I love the man, but I think part of me not wanting to admit that I have depression, not want to admit that that I have anxiety that was literally ruining my life, is because if he found out, then he would be disappointed, upset, deny, like, no, you're not depressed. What are you doing with it? Like a lot of that was I didn't want to admit defeat.
Is that true though?
What?
That he would say that? I don't know if that's true. That's just your
100%. No, I had these conversations with him.
My mom still does that. Like when I went to a bad spot about like 2 weeks ago, and I was like trying to talk to her a little bit. She's like, when you feel that way, you just gotta not. And I was like, that's not how. I think
you've mentioned that here.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how it goes. And like, you don't. I wish I could try to explain to her that's not how it goes. They're just so warped in their heads of like, oh, just don't be depressed,
Well, they also don't never have the tools.
No, I don't think they experience what depression is. I think they're just sad, and they go, oh, I'm just sad about stuff. They don't admit like, oh no, I'm just depressed. Like I can't do anything right now.
There's a stigma, I think, around either admitting you have a problem or using the word depressed, because depression, that type of like mental health is like a fad in their minds. It's like a new thing that people are talking about, but it's like, and I read a really interesting article that was after the Paddy thing came out, that this person had written for You're gonna have to. Oh, she's a professor of at the School of Social Work at Syracuse University. Was saying that if you're weak because you can't handle your problems, being weak because you can't handle your problems is absurd. And just because mental health it's not a fad. You would never treat a cut off leg with you'll figure it out. Like, no, you go to the hospital, you go to the doctor, you get a Band-Aid. Like, problems in your head are problems, and you can't walk off a gunshot.
Yeah,
it's the same. Like, you have to treat it the same way.
I do get, like, this is gonna sound weird, but I get why people kill themselves.
Like, so talk about your 2 weeks ago.
Like,
you really were wanting to talk about that, and I want to know what. I'd love
like
to
it's
kind of
just
dig into
it's
that.
just a feeling. I don't know, like just a legit feeling of hopelessness, where you can't see anything working out. Like I had that literally. I'm like, I'm never gonna be where I want to be. I'm never gonna have money. I'm never gonna do this. What is the point of me living the next 50 years? If I'm always gonna feel this way, just go out now and make it so I'm not sad for the next 50 years.
So where do you, when you come out to on the other side of that, what gets you to the other side of that feeling?
There are times I'm just like, I don't even know if I'm still on the other side. Like when I think about it, I think we just harp on it more. I want to say.
Well, a couple, I don't know how long ago it was, but he said one of the reasons is his love for his parents. I don't know if that's
one of the reasons. Yeah, I won't do that to them. I won't.
Yeah,
make
they
them
would
go to
be
my funeral.
devastated.
Yeah, that's fucking pretty brutal. That's one of the reasons.
I had a joke there, but I skipped on it.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, no.
Throw it out.
No, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say at your funeral, I think I'd leap over the casket and click my heels, but hey, that's neither here nor there. We're trying to keep it a little light. I'm sorry.
He's not making over the casket. Let's be real. Okay,
tiny
that's
little
4'2". Okay,
well, buddy, I'd start doing yoga again if that happened.
He's got
Get the
4'2",
hamstrings loose.
4'2", and one hip is smaller than the other one. All right.
Wrong about
It'd be a
that.
great way to get him working out again. He's out there stretching the streets. Pav, what are you working out for? I got a big funeral coming up.
No, I gotta tell him, Pappy, T-minus 7 days till I'm yoking myself. So you got about 12 until you got to go to the funeral.
Obviously, I'm joking. But anyway, sorry.
You won't stretch for anybody. But so there's like tools and stuff that people can utilize.
I write down shit a lot.
Well, while you're in that state, like a manic state, a little bit.
Oh, really?
Do you find yourself being a little bit manic when you're that, where you start to lose control of the thought a little bit? Because I find that for myself, that I find when I get in bad.
I don't know if lose control. I just can't find a way out. It's like you're digging through a tunnel and you don't know where the other side is.
Yeah,
I can't find a way out of the other side.
That's a brutal feeling.
Yeah, I literally can't think I'm gonna be okay. So I wrote that. It's a fear of sheer hopelessness that whatever I do, it's just not gonna work out. It's just not gonna work out the way I want it to work out. And you're also living in an age where you're constantly made to feel bad.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I was going to say our parents did not have to deal with that. Like going on your phone is a release technically, but then you get there and it's
hopelessness.
It's
just
horrible.
Sheer. That's it's like when I stop drinking, people are like, "Oh man, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna see how your life's gonna be better." And like, yeah, I guess I'm technically better, but I don't feel better.
Have you ever heard of a phrase called "dry drunk"?
No, why? Can we try that?
That's hilarious.
I'm itching for a drink.
That's hilarious.
So that's
the Mets win the World Series. I'm gonna be wet drunk.
No. It's good thing we'll never see that day. No, a dry drunk was a term that someone who's quits drinking but doesn't deal with the issues that caused them to become a drunk to begin with. So you're still carrying the baggage of the alcohol, like the cause of you drinking so much, because you haven't dealt with it yet. So you're still in that same circular pattern of anxiety, depression, everything's there except for the alcohol. So that's called being a dry drunk because you're like white knuckling your way through sobriety without giving yourself the outlet, the tools, the therapy, the meditation, the whatever it is to actually deal with the issues that cause the drinking. So I feel like that at times sometimes you get super anxious, super depressed, and you start snapping a little bit. There could be symptoms there of being a dry drunk.
There's a little bit there, but like I drank because it was fun and like I just wanted to keep doing it. That was like because it makes you feel good. But
there were times where you drank out of like I never drank the way I've never done where I'd go in my room and drink alone. Never in my life.
Just try it. It's a good time.
No, I would drink and watch games or something, but not to that extent.
When you want to be alone drinking, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be around people. I wanted to be alone.
That's the problem.
But that's not a fun time drunk. That's you need alcohol.
Yeah, that's like you're dependent on alcohol.
You watch a nice 86 highlight with a couple beers in you. It's a good time.
Jesus.
No. All right. So
what else have you written
you're
down?
being late. You're being late. You're being made to feel like a hopelessness. And the industry that we're in, this industry wants you to feel hopeless. They want you to not feel good. I don't know why.
Chase the carrot.
Yeah. They want you to chase. They want you to do that. So when you're in an industry where you look at other people and you see other people, all your head just tells you is you're not good enough. You're not good enough. You're not going to be who you want to be. You're not this. You're not. And you try to like think other things, but it always sort of comes back to you're not. Like my friend Natalie one time told me, I always have to have the TV on or something in the background. She's like, why do you always have to have the TV on in the background? Why can't you just be, I go, I don't want to be in my thoughts.
I'll tell you right now, I'm the exact same way.
I need to have something on because if I'm alone in my thoughts, it's not going to be good for me. I'm going to feel like shit. I'm going to get worse.
Silence terrifies me. Silence is my worst enemy.
Why? I'm just curious.
Because when you're like, I always like I have a little sports talk radio on because like to me, when they're speaking, I'm speaking to them in my head. I'm thinking about, but when there's nothing going on, now I'm just by myself and I'm thinking about, fuck, I have to do this, but you're not good enough to do that. Why are you not good enough to do that?
Can I ask you a question? Why, when you're in your own thoughts, why does it go to that direction about not being good enough? Why doesn't it go to like, oh, I thought this was a funny situation today when I interacted with this person on the subway. I think why don't I do? Oh, I can have a story about this, a joke about this.
Maybe because that's how my brain was just wired as a kid.
But how do we fix that?
It's not easy to fix. Like people just think sometimes it's easy to fix, and like I am way more positive than I was. But there are times where it's hard to take over.
I fully go the other way. I'm not just.
Remember I told you like I wish I had your personality. Like I wish I could be like you, or just think positive.
I get them.
And I look at your life, you shouldn't. You shouldn't think positive.
I get depressed. I get.
Man, I never realized it was that bad for you. You wanted this guy's life.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
To have his mental state, I'd kill for this.
Hospital.
Are you kidding me,
buddy? I'll send you a week when I'm in the red, and then you tell me if you want my life. I'll give you a couple.
Have you ever done medication?
I did medication for a while, and to me, it wasn't the greatest.
Was it like a heavy like SSRI?
Was it that weekend you did poppers?
Poppers.
I'm saying you go to gay clubs, but
if I was in gay clubs, I'd be a lot happier in life right now. I would. I've had about 15 guys texting me telling me I'm a good boy.
So you just need words of affirmation. Is that what we're here to decide?
No,
yes. Because that's your love language. That's what we found out in a previous episode. I need people to make me feel
good. But like also, I was thinking about it the other day, like I don't have anyone to really talk to. You guys kind of do with your girlfriends and stuff like that. I don't really feel that I have anybody. And also, if I did, my head would be like, don't bother them. Don't bring them down. Don't bring them down to you. Because I've been there. People have been like, you're fucking negative, bro. I don't want to like, talk to you about that. And so my head now is like, don't bring them down. Don't bring them down to your level. So just fucking whatever. You deal with it. Don't put it on somebody else. Which a lot of the thing at the time that the Paddy's friend was probably thinking the same thing. Don't bring anybody else down. Just do your.
He's got a big fight or something. He's got a big thing. He's worried about. Don't bring it down.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you? I'll say this: that you are. You can also be very defensive. with a lot of stuff. So I feel like sometimes that you might have, like, your defense mechanisms are like tough guy. So it might be harder for somebody to accept that, or maybe that's you're not ready to give somebody that part of you because you're worried about not being the tough guy or not being in charge.
No, like when I'm like in my relationship now, I'm kind of the one who talks more. So like I'm a little open to shit like that. I think more of like with us, maybe I'm like I pretend to be a tough guy, not tough guy, but like I don't want you to think if you're weak. But in a relationship, I kind of am the one to like really talk a little more.
So what's stopping you from opening up and like starting to bring that up? Because
I don't want to. Also, I really don't want to bring you guys down. Like
no. I'm talking about in your relationships. I'm talking about not with us.
But remember you said like we had the fight and you were like, I just done with the saltiness. And I was like, now I'm like, well, I can't be depressed around you anymore because I feel that you'll interpret that as saltiness. And no, but it's in my head.
No, that's not true.
But,
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that the way that you present depression, anxiety, whatever, is anger. So that it's not the depression, anxiety part; it's how you present it. You get angry, and then there's really it doesn't matter why you're angry. You're just angry.
I know a guy who used to be depressed, but he would be extra happy because he didn't want people to think he was depressed. So he was always happy. And that was annoying. That was annoying because you're like, this is not a genuine, sincere human being. Like and he's a great guy, but he was just always being like this thing that he wasn't, and it was obvious. You could tell. So I don't know. It wasn't necessarily like you can't be depressed. It was just the way you lashed out to me and Mike. Which I don't know that we did anything wrong. It wasn't that you have every right to feel upset. It was just like I don't know what I.
No, I was about the salt. Remember you saying the saltiness, and I was like, I can't control when I'm not feeling good. I can't.
No, I know that.
I trust me, guys. If it was choose one or the other, I trust me. I'd choose to be happy.
I know.
It's not like I'm choosing to fucking feel bad.
Well, it just takes us to an interesting point because in that same article that I was talking about with the professor of social work at Syracuse said some stats that depression and suicide is one of the leading causes of death in men, and even people who complete suicide, the rate is 4 times higher in men than women. Because there's a fact that our culture has a specific idea of how men are supposed to act. And most people, how many people do you hear that commit suicide are people go, you had no idea they were the happiest person I ever knew. It's because they don't know how to they don't know how to show their depression a lot of times because they don't want people to know.
It's a lot of like burdening people, I feel.
Yeah.
Burdening and not being able to be like real with people. Like if people like realize it, I think a lot of people like who are depressed, like if you realize what's in their head, it's insane.
Well, society says that
I think about killing myself every day. Every single day. I'm not like I'm trying to be funny here. Every single day I think about it. And it's like it's at some point I'm like I could just fucking the sweet relief
of
just,
good.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't know how to not deal that way, but like
I think we need
You ever drove over a bridge and been like, I just fucking go? No?
No, I don't have a car.
I mean,
It's why I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
Jumping is an option.
Yeah.
Everybody's
it's
thought
an
of
option.
Scares the shit out of me.
Everybody's thought about jumping just based on the
it's
sheer
not as
of
often.
like,
It's not that often, and lately it's been a lot less because and I don't want to
Zoloft.
No, I'm on Lexapro, and I'm on blood pressure medication.
Mike Tyson.
Which is,
I'm on his Zoloft so I don't kill y'all.
Which one's the one that makes you not kill yourself?
why don't you like?
How about instead of why don't you say can you? Because why don't you is a little bit accusatory.
Put your
Can
phone down.
I'm not on my phone.
I'm saying put the phone down for starters.
Me?
Like in general, not now.
Oh.
I'm saying like don't if that because I've been seeing like some.
Do you know why I have the phone a lot?
Let him finish what he's saying. Let him finish what he's saying.
I've just been seeing a lot of commercials where it's like if you have a problem drinking and doing drugs and social media, like social media is now part of the drinking and drugs addiction thing, and it's just as bad. Honestly, it's honestly it's
Yeah, it's probably more addicting than booze. I'm able to quit booze. I'm not able to quit my phone.
Why can't you?
I think when a lot of the times I'm on my phone around people, I don't know what to say to people, and I'd rather be on the phone than sitting in the uncomfortable silence. So I use that. I use that as a triggering thing to be like, okay, well, I'll just be here, and if I'm on my phone, I'm not a bad guy to be on my phone. That guy could be doing something. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go that way. When I don't know what to say or what goes on, and I don't like, especially if I'm in a room of like a room for people I really don't know. I don't want to be. I talk to myself into a wall with plenty of people.
But what people, I think what people don't understand is being social is just like anything else. Hold on, it's just like anything else. It's just like riding a bike. You have to go and continue to talk to people. You can't. It's like something you need to do.
And I think it comes very natural to you and very easy to you.
And
if it is,
that's not true.
But I see it bounce off.
You haven't known me for
10 years.
Less than 10 years, but before that,
God willing, hopefully less than that.
I was a quiet kid. I was a quieter kid growing up than I am now. But
what made you become social butterfly?
I was an only child, so I don't have the ability to, growing up, to talk to anybody or have siblings. So a lot of that time was to just sitting in my room or playing by myself. Unfortunately, as sad as it seems, it's pathetic. But a lot of times I'd have to.
Considering all the bedrooms I've seen you have as an adult, I can only imagine how awful they were as a child.
But I'm surprised you're not in a state of silence with a fucking.
For me, it's the same.
But I don't mind being alone with my thoughts. It's something that I'm used to. So I'm used to it. And
I've never said this to anybody, but literally every time I go into a green room, I go into any social situation. As I'm walking in, I will say either whisper or to myself like, "All right, here we go," because it's not natural. To me, it doesn't feel natural to be, "Hey, whoa, whoa." But once I'm in it, it's like, okay, this is as bad as I thought it was going to be. This is not that awful.
You're not doing it like, hey, here we go. It's like
no, but consciously, I will
but Mike,
prepare myself because I don't want to go in there and do it.
Go in there and genuinely care.
Of course.
Don't just. It's like, here we go. Put a face.
No. That's not what I mean.
Literally,
I mean, like,
genuinely care though.
What I'm saying is that it's not natural for me to sit there and like talk and want to be like doing that. So to start I have to force myself into that mode. Yeah. And then once I'm in it, I'm like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought. And then everything's fine and dandy because I'm having a great time. But like me, like I have to literally pick myself up and leave the house sometimes because I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to see people. I'm so fucked in my head sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want. And then I'm like, the only thing that's going to get me out of this is by being around people and realizing that I'm okay, things are fine, and then I go do it.
Like a lot of times with me, it's if I walk into a room, especially if it's I don't feel worthy enough to be in that room.
Well, comedically, no.
And that one stung. Yeah, I think like
is that what it is, comedy wise?
Not comedically, comedy, and like even. Well, a lot of my life is based around comedy.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. It's a big deal with it, and also not saying anything because if you don't say anything, they don't know you're dumb. They don't know you're not smart.
So that's the thing. You're saying you'd rather be standoffish guy in the corner, Scopo, rather than they might think I'm dumb.
So
don't let. I have a great quote. Someone said, "Don't open your mouth. Don't if you're afraid of feeling dumb, don't open your mouth. Let them wonder if you're dumb instead of them knowing you're dumb."
I do love that statement. Not only is great, but it also took a few times to get it right.
Yeah,
but don't you like? I mean, don't you see a pattern here of it always goes negative? You're like, if I like, you could say something and someone might think you're smart. I mean, not us, but I mean, seriously.
Well, I am going to a Mets bar tomorrow, so I'm going to be pumped up for that.
No, but I'm serious. Like, if there's silence in your brain, you're scared that it's going to go negative, but it could go positive. And if you open your mouth, you think it's going to go negative, but
it's already going to go negative if you don't say anything. So might as well give it a shot.
I understand where you guys are coming from. It's when you've been 35 years of being trained that way, it's not easy to I've been reading. I read a lot of shit of like the mind and how it works, and when I find out how it works, I'll let you know.
I can't.
No, but like the power of like honestly, the power of positivity. Just be thinking in a positive. If you've been in my apartment, I have fucking notes on my wall thinking of staying changed to be positive. But it does. But sometimes you just go. I can't understand. I can't explain it to you.
I don't think there's I don't think
you don't get depressed though. You don't really know.
I do. What are you talking about?
You just said he didn't.
Everyone does. I said I don't deal with bouts of depression. I get depressed. I get sad. I think, oh, this isn't good. I'm not good enough for this, or, you know, I'm never gonna get to where I think I should be. Of course I do. I mean, what the hell? I'd be delusional if I didn't. I would be crazy. I would be a crazy person. There are people who just think they're the greatest of all time, and those people are, in my opinion, crazier than anybody. You know, life is about balance. You have to think you're going to do great at some points, but then there's points where you think you're going to be not. You're not going to go up. It's just the way it is. I mean, you can't always be high. You can't always be low. When I get low, I know I'm going to go back up, and when I get high, I'm like, this can't last forever.
See, I wish I had that. When I get low, it's like I don't see myself getting better. I see myself struggling my whole life, just struggling to make ends meet, struggling for this, struggling for that. So like, I'm like, why the fuck do I want to struggle?
So what's stopping you from? And I mean this. No, I'm not trying to like be accusatory, but I'm genuinely like, what's stopping you from feeling that way? Like, are you seeing a therapist? Are you trying to get medicated? Are you trying to change your career?
I currently got waitlisted at my therapy office. Okay, so. You know,
buddy, you're in AAA.
Yeah.
You know, the call-up's coming soon, hopefully. I called up. I have a joke about it. She's like, well, do you feel you're hurting yourself? Do you feel that way? I go, well, aren't you going to find out in 3 months?
I'll let you know as soon as I get my foot in the door.
I go, this will be a cliffhanger for you.
And if I don't show up, I guess I did.
Yeah. What a crazy thing to say. Do you ever feel like hurting yourself? You should have said yes. You would have got in the door.
I know. I didn't put on him. I think at the dog park, dogs are barking. I'm like, how can you not happy the dog park? So, but I was just like, I've tried. The career change is something that
it seems to be the source of a lot of depression. And what I'm wondering is like
not doing comedy anymore.
Well, figuring out another thing to do in comedy.
How many things did to do?
1,000.
1,000,000. Yeah, there's tons, buddy.
Like what? Besides just doing
you're
comedy.
Looking at a guy right here, Nick, he's not a comedian. Makes a living in the comedy business. There's so many things you can do in comedy.
If I stop comedy, I'm out the door. Like I'm in the wilderness, baby. But
why not do that? Is your happiness worth
Mike, I've given my whole like 10, 12 years of this already. It's time to just it's hard to just walk away. And I know I'm not.
I know
I'm not awful. I know I'm good. Don't say anything.
Who are you talking to?
And like, also a part of me is saying in my head, fuck them. You're gonna do it. And when
who's them?
The people, like the world. The whole world.
Well, fuck. There you're going. You're putting some big expectations on yourself.
You seem like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
But fuck them means everyone who doubted me, or everyone like that doesn't mean like I'm not fucking staring at a guy in China going fuck you.
Okay,
you know?
I just didn't know what you meant.
You made fun of me for this before, but I'm gonna go back to this.
Your gray hair.
Yeah. Okay. You need a hobby, man, and walking a dog ain't a hobby. Like you need to pick a hobby of any kind and something that has nothing to do with comedy, that has nothing to do with pursuing your career. Because if your entire day is spent on
simpler than that, honestly,
simpler than a hobby,
I think he needs more self-worth in himself. I think Scopo
that's
needs
a big deal.
to look at other people and say, and not put them down. Look at them and look at their strengths. In comedy, I'm using comedy as an example. You see other comedians and you go, wow, that was really good. I'm not as good as him. Or you go, that person does this, fantastic. But Chris Scopo does this, and I bring this to the table that no one else can do. And you have to apply why your uniqueness can be brought that no one else can do. And you always have to look at that in any aspect.
No, I do.
In any situation.
I do.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
No. I think that's much higher level. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like day-to-day Scopo depression. You need to find. You need to like pick up a sketch pad and draw a picture. You need to find
Mike.
something.
I don't think that's. I
got no hobbies either. To be honest with you, I go to the park and look at a tree.
I do shit like. I work out a lot. I go to
yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It also helps me. I like to work. I enjoy it.
But what all I'm saying is that something that you can do. That the end goal is.
I don't
just
see. I
doing
don't
it.
like the hobby shit. We talked about this before. I don't
know,
like.
but
I don't like it, and I don't like people telling me to do something like that. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing the with my dog. I enjoy.
That's it.
I think you made it just take a vacation personally. I had nothing on that one. Sorry, I thought it was very joke.
I think you just gotta like give yourself way more credit.
It's credit, confidence is a big thing with me. I'm way more confident I was 2-3 years ago when I started drinking. Stopped drinking though. Like I feel better.
I think so too.
And more confident in myself.
I think so.
And slow build, baby.
No, I think so. I think you have a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, also, I enjoy living alone, but I do get very lonely.
Yeah,
and that's the thing where like when I'm by myself and it's at night and like fucking Seaver's in his crate and I'm just sitting there.
Seaver's on the bed, you're in the crate.
I'll do anything for that dog.
But like, let me just give you.
If you go back to the hobbies,
I'm going to go back because I'm going to show you how it helped me.
I don't want to hear about your hobbies.
Okay, well I'm going to talk about my hobbies because I don't.
Okay, you can talk about.
Talking about me.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about your hobbies. We know some of them.
Go ahead.
We know them.
What?
We know some. Well, you cook.
No. My camper.
Oh, okay.
The last 2-3 years.
That was another one.
Having something else to think about and something else to put my hands and my brain on.
Yeah, he was, thought about the squirrels.
Well, those are mice and they were big. But having something else to think about, work on, pull out a piece of paper and go, oh, I think I want to do this. That has nothing to do with anything other than my pure enjoyment. Like there's no, oh, I'm going to do this RV so that way I can try to get into this thing and then I'll sell tickets. Like it has nothing to do with anything other than me being happy. And it's like the building of it sucked. It was so fucking annoying. It was painful. It was expensive, but the end result was now it's done. Like there's no, so having that and being a person who's medicated for depression and anxiety, having something that is just, because like working out, cool. There's an end result of, oh, I'm too fat. I need to get better abs. All that stuff is, there's some sort of goal of bettering yourself versus I'm doing it just so that I can do it.
People do work out all the time. My dad works out.
We're talking to you, Chris, you're saying 2 weeks ago, you're out of it. You're saying every morning you're waking up thinking about killing yourself.
No, it's usually at night.
Okay. Every night. So all I'm trying to do is
the morning coffee, that's a great time. It's a good time to be alive.
All I'm doing is suggesting things that I've done to cope with my own anxiety and depression. I'm just saying, what about that? I'm not saying that anything you're doing is wrong, but you can add to it. There's so many hours in the day that we're not fucking working or doing something. For 20 minutes, you can sit down and do anything that is not a self-help book. Read fiction. That's all I'm saying. Just something that the only thing you're doing is for pure enjoyment.
Read fiction. What am I doing? You act?
I don't know what that means. But I can't wait to walk by Astoria Park and see Scopo on a bench reading Goosebumps.
That would be amazing.
Just going like this.
I think
I have a Goosebumps book.
It's not working. R.L. Stein. Yeah.
R.L. Stein. I'll fucking strangle myself.
He's got a penknife in his wrist reading the book.
Well,
I don't know.
I know what you mean, but I know what you're saying. Like you're doing something that's just for you, and it's enjoyable just for you and nobody else, and that's great because no one can take anything away from you because you're doing something that you love, and it's unbelievable because that's it. If you're alone and life crumbles, you still have this, and you're always going to be happy. I understand it. That's fantastic. You got to this level of it's great.
So what are you gonna say?
I'm not going to say anything. It's just great for you.
Yeah.
But he has working out and he has hobbies. I don't know if
what I'm saying is has it worked? Do you feel less depressed every day because you're working out?
You're
working out for your life.
Oh no. When I work out, I am way less depressed. So, which was kind of weird because the one I just went through, I was working out during the depression, but I was still really depressed, which was odd. Usually, when I'm like depressed, I don't work out. I don't do anything. I just sit in my. But I think because like I have seizures, I have to get up and move, and it made me work. It's more just the at night and just being by myself and being with your thoughts. And I'm back to this, but like hopelessness. When you feel hopeless, that nothing will work out, it's
why
so
can't
terrifying.
Something work out though?
It's just the way my mind. I don't see a possible good ending or a happy ending with what I'm like thinking about, and it's like terrifying. It's terrifying to be like, do you just never gonna feel happy, or you're never gonna be satisfied, or something like that? And it's a fucking like I hate it. I hate feeling that way. And there'll be days where I'm feeling good. A lot of the times, like if I don't have spots or something like that, which I'm bad comedy, but like I people are like, oh, what about comedy? But like my job is to get on stage, and when I'm not, it's not good. I don't feel good. I don't feel positive.
What's your long-term goal though with comedy? Like, if you don't set like some sort of long-term goal, then you're that could give you anxiety, not having a direction where to go.
No, I know that.
But I'm saying like you know what it is. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, I know what it is, and it's not just with comedy. It's with other things too. It's just like, will I have a family? Okay. Will I have?
So you want a family?
Yeah. Do I feel that?
How come you come here all the time and say you don't want one?
I don't know why. I think
it's
honestly,
a vulnerability. It's
no.
tough.
Over the past couple years, I think I've kind of changed my mind a little bit.
You've
with family.
only come on here and said that you don't care. On Shane's episode, you were like, "Oh, I got to do this because of comedy," and then, people have families.
I'm about to say I don't want a family right now. I don't want a family right now, but I think in the future you do.
I never knew this, honestly.
Like in the future, I do, but like,
did you know that?
I don't want a family now, so I'm not ready for it. I'm petrified of my parents passing away because I know they're the last people that I feel in my head, they're the last people who really care about me. And that's terrifying to be like, oh, that's it. No one will care about you anymore. And that's where you go with the depression. That's like, well, why might as well fucking go. Because if no one cares, like if you don't, I don't know how people live their life if people don't care about you. And not feeling important enough to be cared about is a big thing. Not feeling important or anything is brutal. And I'm not talking about successful, important, or whatever like that. I'm talking about like people call you, text you. Like there are days where it's just my mom texting me.
Well, let me tell you this as a lesson to bring this full circle. I would rather you cry in front of me than go to your funeral. So don't turn this into a joke because I know you're heading there.
So you ain't hopping over the thing.
It's not. I'd rather.
That's called a bonsai drop.
I'd rather you.
He's gonna fucking
frog splash.
Sorry. Undertaker smash me.
Sorry. He's being very nice to you, and you're making fun of him.
Suplex you right out of that fucking. You think for 1 second I'm not going to throw a fucking Yankees cap on you in your coffin? You're out of your mind.
You out of your fucking mind. I'd rather you suplex me.
This guy's living to 100 or before you die, just for that.
No, I'll poison him to make sure I go. He goes first.
What if that's the thing that actually keeps him every time he's depressed? He's like, I'm not wearing a Yankees hat. He's right back to it. Hey, things are good.
I think it might be one of the leaders now.
I'll drink a little poison to get my immunity up and tolerance.
The three of us have like have had a very like on again, off again, tumultuous friendship relationship. Good, bad. But that doesn't mean that you
It's
can't.
mostly good when you both were single. Just saying that.
I don't think that. I don't think you have the. And I take responsibility for this too by not like reaching out enough or making sure you're okay. But I'm going to start doing that more. But also, at no point can you not pick up the phone and call and be like, or text me, say, hey, can you got a second?
No, but
because I don't give a fuck.
Mike, you understand? I feel burdened.
I'm telling you right now, that excuse doesn't work.
I know.
For me.
The only person I honestly will do that to is Natalie, and I've told Natalie this. I go, I feel like I'm a burden to you when it's constantly calling you up and being like, I feel this way, I feel that way, and she's like, always like, no, but I'm like, it's always the one-sided conversation, and I can't have that. I can't have that one-sided conversation, but I feel like shit.
But is there times that you could reach out to her and say, how are you doing? And hear what she
has
to say?
We do talk about shit like that.
That's not one-sided.
But
that's not one-sided.
But most of the time it's me.
But maybe that's a way out. Maybe that's a way for you to get out of that and say, when you're feeling bad, reach out to her and say, hey, just checking in. You feeling okay? Tell me anything going on. And then you could have that as an outlet.
Yeah,
your
but
hobby could be making sure other people are okay. Because it doesn't help you. It helps them.
No, I know what you're trying to say, but I don't like people. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, stop. The burden is off now.
Okay.
And I don't know about him.
But no, but
I'm telling you.
No, don't call me.
That's because he doesn't have a phone.
It's my phone.
No,
strictly
honestly, when
work.
I call him and he doesn't answer, I get more frustrated. I'm like, because I know his phone sucks.
And my phone sucks. You got to FaceTime audio me.
No, but like I when you call me and I don't answer, then I call you back right away, and there's no answer.
You got to FaceTime audio me, honestly.
Anyways, I curse out the country of Canada.
We'll talk about wireless connections on the next episode.
I shit on your queen.
Yeah,
and it's the worst. Get a phone that works.
Okay.
So the point is that it sounds like you don't have enough places to talk, and one, obviously, you should get back into therapy.
No, it's not I don't have places to talk. It's you feel like you're burdening people. You feel bad. You don't want to bring people down to your level.
Professional help.
Yeah.
I'm
hopefully getting the call up in a few weeks.
I would like to say this too. There's also a website I found called motionsanonymous.org, which is a vetted website, and they have, just like any other like anonymous group, you can hit if you're struggling, you're having depression, anxiety, whatever it is. They have online groups, they have meetups all over the world.
That's actually really dope. That is a real
motionsanonymous.org is a place that you could go and figure out, find a community of people that are also feeling a certain way.
But if people
get it out, man, like get it out.
People read my notes right now.
Short-term though, Scopes. Honestly, I think you should be off your phone less because
be off your phone more.
Be off your phone more. Sorry, not be on your phone, because you go on there and then it gives you like an unrealistic situation of how people are sort of living, and you look at it through that lens of like everyone's happy, everyone's doing great, everyone's doing something. I'm the only one not doing anything. But that's not the real world. If you flip your phone upside down and maybe go for a walk without it, maybe go on the subway and sorry.
I understand. The problem also is being alone with my thoughts. It's not.
I think
good.
I think you have to flip that though.
I
think you have to look.
I understand, but it's not easy to flip.
No, it's not.
It's not. I trust me. I'm trying to flip it. I'm trying, but it's not easy to flip. It's like I don't think you understand. Like
nobody
goes through not just me, but like a person's head when they're feeling a certain way. I don't think you get what goes through that head and the headspace of what you're in. So, no offense, but I don't like when people say, "Oh, I think you got to just not feel that way." It's not just simple.
No, I'm saying you have to actively look positive, because everything you do, Scopo, is negative. You walk into a room, oh God, if I open my mouth, they're going to think I'm stupid. Oh God, if I'm alone with my thoughts, it's going to go bad. Oh God, if I do this, it's going to be negative. You could go, what do I bring to this conversation? What does Scopo do?
But there's also like, we're not professionals in this space. So
I understand what he's saying, and it's
for sure. But that's what that's what I do.
Can I just say, like, I've been better with that in the past 2 years.
I agree with you. You have
2 years, but like sometimes, like when you're just in that place, it's not. You can't just do that. You can't just be like, "What do I bring to this fucking conversation?" When you're sitting in your bed alone in your head, this conversation is one way, and that's not the way it's winning.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's gonna be, buddy. What do you think? I don't go through that too. You don't think I'm at home at night and I go on Instagram and I see this person doing that, this person doing this, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? You don't think that happens to me? That happens to everybody.
Well, your phone's cracked, so you can't really see anything.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
yeah. No, but
So I think what we can say is that there's needs to be some sort of active attempt to change your mind. So like move into the future, moving forward.
But I don't want to
this is obviously an ongoing scenario that we're all going to have to deal with for the rest of our lives.
I don't want this to just be about me. I think all depression people should feel this way.
Yeah, of course.
And
buddy, the only thing that's keeping me from being exactly like you were, which I was for a very long time, is medication. All the other things, the hobby bullshit, whatever, I don't think I'd be capable of that without my medication.
I was gonna say sausages.
Well, sometimes I self-medicate. It includes a lot of weed and a lot of meat.
See, but weed is not good for me either.
No, it's not because of my either.
Not because of my sobriety, because I'll smoke weed no problem. That doesn't like the highness of the weed's not going to get me to do drugs again, other drugs. It's more like mentally.
Oh no, for sure.
Mental is not good.
There is no one solution for everybody. Otherwise, we'd all be fine. And I can't. Sometimes I go 6 months to a year without smoking weed because if I touch it, I get in crazy paranoid depression, and I can't do it. But what I'm saying is that there's finding a solution and trying things to make it better. I think that when you talk to your new therapist, talk about medication. Get not like a Zoloft or something that actually turns your brain off.
I don't want medication.
No. I think
Why?
Lexapro.
Why? Because I don't want to be dependent on medication for the rest of my life.
But why not?
Because I don't want to depend on something for forever.
But
To be happy, I've seen people even myself when I was on it and then I got off. I was just your equilibrium is not whatever you call it. It's not the same. You're going to go through a withdrawal kind of thing. I don't want it to do that. I want to try to be able to fix it on my own. I don't think relying on those medications is good.
But this goes back a little bit to the idea that you're not going to fix a bullet hole on your own.
No, I understand that, but I don't. I don't want to. I did medication already, and I don't want to do it again.
Okay, and that's fine. I mean, obviously it's your choice, but there's so many other medications out there that are possible. And I'm telling you from my personal experience that when I finally went through and trialed on a bunch of medication, I am ecstatic to have a medication that'll keep me where I'm at for the rest of my life, because it's night and day for me. And all I'm saying is it's possible. For you to be
I know, but I just feel that
it just puts you on a level playing field with yourself to then improve and do all the things that you want to do to improve, and you just get yourself at a balance. That's all. It's just a suggestion. You can't sew your head back on. You know, you got to have someone else do that for you.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, I think we've accomplished at least getting a lot out of the year.
This was good.
Today.
This was good to have a conversation about depression and shit like that.
You can always call, buddy. And I know you pick up
just him.
No, he'll pick up.
No.
If you tell him,
what's funny about
if you tell him you're depressed, you need to talk to him.
Send me an email.
You know what's funny about Pavy? He does care, but he'll say it and he'll be like, he'll text me. He goes, "Buddy, you good?"
Yeah,
but
I can't.
But don't act like you don't.
I care.
I know you're trying to be the tough Canadian here.
But some people
don't care.
Some people don't want to talk because he probably would rather text you and just let you know he's there, because
first off, if
he'll start spinning because he's not capable of talking to somebody with depression. It's possible.
No,
he's not capable of talking to somebody. You get weirded out by sex stuff.
What are you talking about?
You get weirded when you talk about sex in front of him. You get weirded out.
This took a turn.
What the hell is happening?
A couple of times I talk about sex and you're like, I don't want to know.
I don't care about your personal. I don't care about.
I don't
want to
hear about your sex life either,
buddy.
Because you're into weird shit. I know you are. You're fucking put a Mets flag up your ass. You're fucked up. I don't want to hear about your shit.
Though. I'll wear a Mets hat.
So, a couple things here. One, do like Paddy the Baddie says. Talk to somebody. And this is talking. Like, this is what this was. This
Paddy the
episode
Baddie is thank God he did it. He just beat the piss out of someone, and he's like, talk to your friends.
Talk to your friends.
Imagine it was like the king from Hamilton. No one would take it seriously.
You're not going to be a burden on any. And I'm going to tell you something. If you are actually a burden on somebody, they're not your friend. I'll say that. So that's why I'm telling you to call me. Call me if you need to. Also, emotionsanonymous.org is a great resource you should check out. We're not affiliated with Betterment, but I've had a lot of people use that app. and they get connected with therapists. So try that, and you just talk about it, man. Paddy the Baddie.
My friend told me that I told him this like 20 years ago, and he's like, I still remember the advice, and I got it. I was in a religion class, and I don't believe in God or religion, but the teacher said, in life, the only person you're always going to be with is yourself and God. But I added that part out. But seriously, if you think about it, you're born, your parents are going to die naturally if this is how life goes. The person you're with, you're going to meet them later. Your kids come along later. So always the constant is you. So the one thing you always have to, unfortunately in a bit of a selfish way, is look after is you first and foremost. And whether that's giving yourself positive, like even having a bit of an ego to get yourself through the hardship, like you always have to look after you first, because through, you're that, and it's constant for everybody. It's constant for everybody.
No, you're all you have.
No, I understand.
Mike, Nick, we're all going through the same stuff. And then he said God too, that was part of the text, but I didn't, I'm not going to give that advice because I don't believe in him. But he told me that advice sticks, and I'm like, buddy, I just regurgitated that advice to someone else, and it sort of makes a lot of sense, because at the end of the day, it's going to be you through and through.
Yeah,
and
no, I get that.
That's it, man. You got to have a little bit of. I think you're funny and a smart guy, Scopo. I think you got to remember that at the end of the day.
Oh, where's the light detector lady? We need her.
You got a fever?
Edit that part out as well.
I need the light detector girl.
No, but seriously, I'm serious. You gotta give yourself a little bit of.
Getting too emotional.
All right.
That is the least emotional we've gotten tonight. Yeah. So hey, Scopo, thanks for opening up, buddy.
Hey, no problem. You open up, kid.
Check us out, rate, review, subscribe. Some of these episodes can get a little bit heavy. Some of them are funnier than others. But hopefully just hearing us talking about it and opening up and being friends to one. Put your goddamn
I thought we were done.
Do you hear me talking?
Oh, if he's checking the Mets score, I gotta
talk to somebody. Do like Paddy says. Be like Paddy. You'd rather have your friend cry on your shoulder.
Don't beat the shit out of somebody.
You'd rather have your friend cry on your shoulder than go to their funeral. That is the best advice or the best sentence I've heard in years. Thank you for listening. Scope, love you, buddy.
This guy Paddy, though, fucking he's lucky he beat the piss out of the guy. They should have interviewed the other guy.
Yeah,
they should have interviewed the other guy.
He's get choked out, and he's just like, I think I might join my friend Ricky.
Hey, we're lucky he beat him, so we heard it. All right, goodbye, everybody.
This guy's getting all sentimental at the end.
I'm trying to end it with a thing.
Yeah, he's like, Ricky, I'm coming.